Let me tell you the story of the myth of the iPad Pro. Hey, welcome to Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. My name is Jason. Thanks so much for stopping in. You know, rumors hit the internet sausage factory regarding a possible change in the naming conventions for the iPhone coming up here in 2019. The most popular permutation of the postulated name seems to be comprised of the iPhone 11 at 5.8 inches, the iPhone 11R XR will be 6.1 inches, and finally the iPhone 11 Pro at 6.5 inches. No screen size changes this year, nothing but the iterative update. Regardless of what they call it, there is no real screen size changes this year, nothing really other than an iterative update, new processor, etc., except for the much complained about three-eyed camera wart on the back of the phone. I've watched a few videos from other YouTubers about what would possibly make the iPhone worthy of the Pro moniker. John Rettinger ran off a laundry list of hardware changes in his video, linked below, that could potentially push the iPhone into the Pro echelon, including USB-C, no notch, 120Hz ProMotion OLED display, stereo front-facing speakers, maybe even pencil support. These would all be nice additions to the iPhone, sure, but none of them would make it a Pro device. Rene Ritchie, in his recent video, went through a list of what the word Pro might mean, if it actually means anything at all anymore. Is it the size or the features? Is it Pro as in productivity, or does it mean that the iPhone could be more integrated into workflows more than just with handoff, AirDrop, that kind of thing? Possibly something like a Samsung DeX feature, but better because iOS and macOS are already moving closer together. The truth is that kind of functionality isn't too far away whether Apple slaps the Pro designation on the iPhone or not. But again, whether or not any of those use cases became the focus of an iPhone model, that alone would not make it an iPhone Pro. Yes, any or all of these additions would make the device easier and more versatile to use in a Pro setting, but none of them would take it from being not Pro to Pro. The phone that could most easily call itself a Pro phone, the Galaxy Note line, doesn't. It doesn't need to. There are some devices that deserve the title, but in reality, they don't need it to be Pro devices. Have you ever built a PC Pro? No. Have you ever bought a PC Pro? No. Is the MacBook Pro a Pro device? Sure, plenty of professionals in many different professions use the MacBook Pro for their work, but many of them could also likely get by fine with a MacBook Air and not suffer at all. So what does that mean? Hell, an iMac is plenty Pro for the majority of people. So what would make an iPhone Pro? Bigger screen, pen support? Is it the focus on productivity or professional use? No. None of those improvements to the device would make it any more or less Pro. Why? The iPhone is already a Pro device. Any piece of technology out there has the potential to be a Pro device. No improved camera or screen refresh rate will make the iPhone any more Pro than it already is. Don't believe me? Think that I'm talking craziness? Ask Steven Soderbergh, who filmed his movie Unsane on an iPhone 7 Plus. His most recent film, High Flying Bird, was filmed on an iPhone 8. Steven Soderbergh's kind of a big deal movie maker, so if you watch those films, I don't think you'd ever sit there and say, like, oh, that's not Pro. For something a little bit more pedestrian and mundane, look at this photo that I took last night out at a little dinner thing that I went to. I think it came out pretty good. I mean, I don't know about Pro, but it's good looking, and that's nothing compared to what numerous real photographers have done with iPhones and other smartphones. I mean, the level of creativity that people have drawn from iPhones is just absolutely unbelievable. Here's the point. An iPhone, an iPad, a MacBook, PC, or any other device, they're all just tools. They don't do the work. They facilitate you getting the work done. So an iPhone in the hands of someone who's mastered his or her craft, whether it be film, photo, business, music, anything else, is a Pro device. The same device in the hands of an amateur, and by amateur I mean someone who hasn't put in the hours necessary to master the craft that they're working with, would create amateur results by comparison. The tool, in this case an iPhone, is not the differentiating factor between pro and not pro. It's the person and the skill that person has that separates the pro from the amateur. Let's look at it this way. If you had a $60,000 camera with a dozen lenses that were worth $50,000 and lights and everything else that you need to shoot a professional film, and you walked onto the set with no knowledge of how to use those tools, no experience whatsoever, would you create a professional quality product? No, never in a million years. And it wouldn't be the fault of the equipment. There's an old maxim out there that you can give a true musician any instrument, regardless of quality, and that musician can draw beautiful music from it. It's not the tool that does the work. It's the person using the tool. If they're accomplished in their work, they will be accomplished no matter the quality of the tool. So, do we need an iPhone Pro? No, the iPhone is already Pro. Designating a device as Pro is really just marketing. It's all marketing, and what it means is you'll pay more. They're trying to use marketing to make you believe that if you have the Pro labeled product, you'll be able to do Pro level work. And that's just not necessarily the case. Depending on who you are and how much you've practiced your craft, it may or may not be true. So what do you think? Do we need an iPhone Pro? Does it matter if we have an iPhone Pro? Would you buy an iPhone Pro over just any kind of regular old iPhone? Or is this all just a bunch of hooey that we don't need to be talking about at all? Let me know down in the comments below, and we'll have a great boisterous discussion. Once again, thank you so much for being here. If this was your first time and you want to come on back again, like, subscribe, bell, notify yourself so you can come back and be a pro, painfully honest tech viewer. If you've been here before, thank you ever so much for coming back. My name is Jason. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I am out.